I was like, Dragon Ball? That sounds naughty. And he was like, no, it's Japanese anime. And I was like, totally naughty. But then I went and auditioned and became a voice actor and have been doing it ever since. The best way to be a voice actor is to be an actor and then also use your voice. Question in the back.
I have a question. How does it feel after you finish recording all of this and then seeing the finished show? Like, you know, you sit down on your TV and you're watching it and it's like on late night.
Yeah, the shows that are on TV are cool because like you'll be flipping channels and you'll be like, oh, this is me. And you get to do that thing or like if friends are over and your show's gonna be on, you're like, yeah, my show's on Cartoon Network tonight. Do you want to check it out? They're like, yeah, because they may not normally watch that, but to watch it with you in the room is a cool thing. I one time was watching Yu Yu Hakusho and we were flipping channels and I was with a friend and then she had never seen it before. I'm like, oh, this is my show. This is my show. I play Hiei. You want to watch it? Yeah, let's watch it. Yeah, let's watch it. And so then we're watching it, and Hiei's, I'm like, that's me, the short guy there. I'm the short, he's kind of the grumpy face. He's like, oh, great. And you know, we watch some more, like the whole episode goes by, and then Hiei hadn't said anything the whole time. He was just kind of brooding in the corner the whole time, the whole episode, and finally got to the very end, and Hiei went. And the credits rolled. My friend was like, well, that was great. That was amazing. Normally says more. But it was funny because I didn't remember if I had, because you record a bunch of episodes together, so you don't necessarily separate the storyline into episode after episode. So I didn't know what I said that episode. But personally, I ruin anything I'm in. I ruin almost any show I'm in. I start to watch it and I'm like, it's good, yeah. And then I come on, I'm like, faker, that's all lies, none of it's true. Like my brain can hear it's me and it can't suspend the disbelief to believe that it's just a story. Occasionally, there was a movie I did, Summer Wars. I played the government guy on the motorcycle, the uncle with the leather jacket. But I had such a small part, and it was such a big movie, and I was only barely in it. It was kind of my regular voice, and it was a really good family story. I didn't bother me at all in that, but a lot of my other anime that I've done, like especially series, I'll be like Baccano. I played Ronnie and the Devil in Baccano, and I loved Baccano, and I wrote Baccano. Script adapted Baccano, so I'm in love with the anime, and I would get to my parts and I'd be like, I ruined it again. I'm ruining this whole scene. I ruined it because you think you'd be like, yeah, I'm awesome. But if you're a good artist, you're always like, how could I improve? I would improve that. That's not. Why? You're always sort of correcting things in your head. Yeah, it's true, and you get over it, but. There's a difference between criticism and a desire to improve oneself. That desire to improve oneself is okay, but it's the difference between I can do that better, and I suck. You want to always believe you can do it better. Yeah, question? Sure.
Do you ever say something and then they tell you it's good, but you want to say it over and over? Like, redo it, I want to say it different? Or...
Yeah, typically not over and over. Occasionally you'll say it and hear it and be like, oh wait, I know what I want to do. Let me give you one more. Let me try one more. With Emperor Pilaf for the Dragon Ball movies, that was one where, and Chris and I remember, recording Pilaf in Dragon Ball. So that was one where he'd be like, you got another one, man? Something funnier? Okay, let me, and then try to get some other funny, little weird noises Pilaf makes. So we did give that occasional extra bumps. Más preguntas? Sí. My favorite character that I've played, Hiei, for the reasons that I've said previously about going to the convention and meeting all you guys. Hiei's awesome for that reason. I also like Stein from Soul Eater a lot. And Spice and Wolf is actually one of my favorite. I'm barely in it in season 2, I think, or season 3, but I like that show a lot. It was fun. I wrote it also with, just script adapted it with Jamie Markey, and it's a show about economics. It's an anime that goes into like economic theory, basically, and it's sort of set in the past with the trader and a girl who's also a fox, and you know, and or actually a wolf. Sorry, Spice and Fox. That'd be a weird name. But that's one of my favorite anime, just in case anyone was wondering. Also, I like cantaloupe. More questions?
What's your favorite line you made a character say?
Favorite line I made a character say. Kie says to Kuwabara at one point, "What does it feel like to walk around in a haze of complete stupidity all the time?" I like that. I occasionally say that to people. No, I don't. I just punch them. No, Big Mac? No. More questions? Yeah.
I was wondering, it's hers and Bert's birthday.
Hmm.
And they were wondering if you could sing them happy birthday in PA's voice.
Happy birthday to you. Don't make me sing anymore. Also, Karama's sexy. No. Why'd you go there, Chuck? Why'd you do that? Sometimes I'd wake up late at night and just call John Bergmeyer in my Hiei voice, Karama. Like, Chuck, stop it. It's not Chuck, it's Hiei. Chuck, I'm trying to sleep. I know. No, I never did that. But I did tell John, I tell that story at conventions all the time. He's like, you can call me once and do that if you want the story to be real. John Bergmeyer, you're the best. More questions? Yes.
As an actor, do you ever, get yourself into the mindset of the character you're portraying? And if so, has there ever been a moment that you're thinking, this is really weird?
Like lose myself in it?
Yeah, like this is really bizarre. And what anime would that association be most strong with?
Yeah, it doesn't happen with anime voice acting. You can't really lose yourself because you do it line by line. It's a little like film acting in that way. Sometimes you'll get a good run at a scene in film acting, usually the master scene. They do it that way, but the close-ups are where it happens. In anime, it's each individual line, so you don't get to lose yourself that much into it. But when you do stage acting, that can happen quite often. Like, one of the things they've learned about the human body is that, what you do physically to your body affects your mental state. There's a famous test they did called the bite experiment, where they hooked the brain up to electrodes and had you bite a pen like this, which made you smile without having happy thoughts, and then bite it like this, which made you frown without having sad thoughts. And it would make the brain happy or sad, depending on what you did with your muscles. So occasionally when you do, because when you do a character on stage, you'll spend 8 hours in rehearsal, like perfecting the walk and, doing everything that character would do, doing it that way. So you really change your physicality for longer stretches of time. And so I used to, like, when I would do characters, quite often their characterizations enter into my daily life. So that I did a Sherlock Holmes play, and everything was a calculation and a deduction after that. And I played Petruchio in Taming of the Shrew, and I became much broader and physically more like in charge of things. So characters that way. And I had a friend, Barbara Robertson, who used to say that her doctor would recommend and not recommend roles for her based on what diseases the characters had. She would physically start to manifest the diseases in her. She had a character who was I forget, dying of some lung thing, and she became deathly ill with pneumonia. She had another character who had diabetes and would have insulin, whatever coma episodes and she gave herself diabetes. And it went away after a while, but I mean, you can physically make yourself have these illnesses by physically making yourself feel that way, which is a